Okay, welcome back to the channel. I know the tragic events that has been going on with Charlie. So I didn't want actually, you know what, the tragic events that's been going on with Charlie might override what today is, which is 9/11, and which is understandable, but I just wanted to make this video so I can remember, and the viewer, you, obviously, I don't know why I said viewer, but we can just, all of us, we can just remember the victims of 9/11. And it's been 24 years since that tragedy. And unfortunately, yesterday we got another tragedy with Charlie Kirk, and it's just, I don't know. It just seems like this world's going downhill. But anyway, today's 9/11, so I would just want to honor the victims of that tragic event. 3,000 lives were lost that day. It was so tragic. Just a horrible situation. And I can remember I was at school, and it was just a normal day, and nobody really I never really heard anything. Everything was just going on as usual. But then I do remember that we all got sent home early. So we all got on the bus, and as a kid, I was in elementary school. As a kid, I was really excited to get out of school. I didn't know what was going on, of why we was even getting out of school early, but they let all of us kids out of school early. And as a kid, I was excited because that means I got extra time with the video game. So I was all happy about it at that time, because I didn't realize what was going on or what was happening, because I was only a kid. Can't remember exactly how old I was, but regardless, I was happy because in my mind, hey, they're going to let us out of school early, so I'm going to go up to my room and get some extra hours of video gameplay in. So we get on the bus, the bus drops people off. I get home after getting off the bus, and I see my mom, and she's standing in front of the TV just crying, and she tells me and my brother to get in the basement, because she thought the world was ending. I remember her saying that. She's like, get in the basement, the world is ending. That's all she's told me. And as a kid, I'm kind of just like shocked, like, what do you mean the world's ending? But I didn't say that. But I was just like shocked she would say that to me. But she told me and my brother to get down in the basement, and we stayed down in the basement for about an hour before she actually let us come back up. And in that hour, she was just like grabbing stuff upstairs and bringing it down the steps. I guess she was getting us ready for what she thought was the apocalypse. And she made us stay down there for an hour, and we stayed down for an hour. Eventually, she let us back up. As a kid, I didn't really understand what was going on or the gravity of the situation. But later down in life, I can't remember exactly when I found out what 9/11 actually was, and like saw footage of the buildings and the towers and the people and all that. But when I do remember, I can't remember exactly when, but I do know what my reaction was, and it was basically the same reaction that I believe that every American had that day. I was filled with sadness, disgust. Honestly, I wanted revenge on the people who did this to us, and it was just a sad event that happened in American history. It's right up there with Pearl Harbor. That tragic event also. It just seems like this world's going downhill every single year. It gets worse and worse. But yeah, 9/11, 3,000 people lost their lives. on that day, and it was a tragic event. And when I actually realized what was going on, I was sad and hurt and just really wanted revenge, honestly, on the people who did it. And it was a really sad day. And I just wanted to take the time to, remember the victims of that tragic day. Um, and so that's what I'm doing right now. I'm going to watch some animated stories about 9/11. Never seen these before. I know this first story comes from Storybook. So go check out their channel. They got a lot of videos, just not about 9/11. They have different animated stories about different things also. So go check out their channel. This is their video. I'm just reacting to it and throwing out my own commentary on it. First time I ever seen it, but go hit their channel up, subscribe if you want to. They really have a lot of great content on there, and that's what I'm basically going to be doing today, is just remembering not the tragic events of 9/11. So many people lost their loved ones, and they lost their brother, their daughter, their wife, their girlfriend, their friend, their boss, their mentor. I know there was even a pastor who unfortunately lost his life in there helping the people. But, there were a lot of victims in that tragedy, but also there were a lot of heroes that day. A lot of people actually stepped up, and are a lot of people who saved lives. Otherwise, the race count would be higher, which it's already 3,000 people who lost their lives, and that's way too much. But what I'm saying is, if it wasn't for these heroes that actually put their own lives in danger, and some of them did, including the firefighters, that day, who had to climb up the tall buildings. Them firefighters are heroes. The people who put their own lives at risk to save other lives, those people are heroes. And it was just a really tragic event. And once I got older and realized what was actually going on that day, that my mom made me and my brother get in the basement, because all she said was, the world's ending, So I'm just a kid. I'm like, what? I didn't really get a chance to go into it, but me and my brother were just sitting down there, I guess we're just waiting, basically. But it was a tragic event, and a lot of good people lost their lives on it. Over 3,000 lives lost. And I believe it was 24, 25 years ago. Someone might want to fact check on me, but other than that, yeah, it was a tragic. I believe it was 24 years ago, and we should remember those heroes and the victims of that terrible, terrible day, and they should be forever remembered. Just not on the anniversary of 9/11. And that event is right up there with Pearl Harbor, also, where we also lost a lot of Americans. So, they shouldn't just be remembered just because it's 9/11. They should be remembered every single day, just like Charlie should be remembered every day. And people from Pearl Harbor should be remembered every single day, because what happened at Pearl Harbor, those were the people who put their lives on line to defend our freedom. And what happened at the Twin Towers and the hotel that was next to the Twin Towers that day, it was very tragic. A lot of people were hurt that day. A lot of lives were destroyed. A lot of people lost their loved ones, and it was a tragic event, just horrific. And my heart still goes out there to those victims of people who lost their loved ones that day. It was so tragic. But right now I'm going to watch one of the films from Storybook. Again, go check out their channel and subscribe to them. They absolutely produce great content. This is actually, I'd never seen this video before. It's titled "She Was the One." I know this has to do with 9/11 because I want to react to animated 9/11 stories. And so that's what I'm going to do now, and it's just my small way of remembering the victims and remembering that day and what one of the most terrific tragedies in American history. And so I'm going to go ahead and check this out. You can check this out also. But before I hit play, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll get right into it. StoryCorps. Oh, wait, hold on. Yeah, it's actually StoryCorps, not Storybook. I'm sorry, I butchered the name wrong. It's Story Corps. So check out their channel, not Storybooks. StoryCorps. Alright? I'm probably pronouncing their name wrong still, but StoryCorps. Yeah. Go check out StoryCorps, not Storybooks. Go check them out. Again, they have a lot of different videos that they have on their channel. Go subscribe to them. Check out their content. Really great. I can already tell I'm going to like the animated style, but I don't know about the story, though. The story might just about make me cry. Again, it is about 9/11, so I guess we'll see. But it's going to be sad. I just have a feeling. I mean, how couldn't it be sad? 9/11 was sad, so yeah. Oh, you even got the Twin Towers in the back. That's pretty cool. Okay, so Karen Judy worked as an administrative assistant at Cantor. I'm sorry, I'm pronouncing these names wrong. Cancer Fitzgerald on the 101st floor of the North Tower at the World Trade Center. So the woman that I guess he's proposing to worked at one of the towers on the North Tower at the World Trade Center, and I really hope this does have a happy ending for them. I don't know though. Oh no. There it is, man. Just hit me right in the heart right off the bat. Just let me know this is not a happy ending. So terrible, man. So terrible. I'm assuming that this guy didn't die, though, because they didn't say that he died, but maybe I hope he didn't, man. But it's just sad that she even lost her life on 9/11. Just sad. Her fiance, Richard Purcella, I think that's how you pronounce his last name, came to StoryCorps to remember her. Aww. So he didn't die on 11. She died on 9/11. That's so sad. Man, I know how it is when you try to remember someone that you have lost. I mean, it just honestly hurts to think about.
I knew as soon as I looked at her that she was the one.
Oh.
It was magical. I can't describe it. I couldn't tell her that, but I was like a 15-year-old again. I got old.
I know that feeling, man. When you're 15 years old and you find your first love, you're just so in love, and you're just like, oh, this is the one. This is the one I'm going to spend the rest of my life with. You know, when you get that feeling when your first love ever. Oh, man, I still remember the name of my first love. I still remember. Guilty. But, yeah, man, you can tell. 15, yeah, he was definitely in love with this woman, man. She must have been a really cool person.
Google-eyed and didn't know what to do or say, and stumbling wasn't like me at all. Wasn't
wouldn't like you at all. Yeah, man, I've been down there before. where you think, oh well, she's way too good for me. You know, she ain't gonna like me. She gonna like these other boys who are more handsome, more athletic. You know, I'm just way out of her league. Well, she's way out of my league. There's no chance. I've definitely been there before. I completely understand where this guy's coming from already, bro. But you just gotta keep trying until she tells you no. Then you know you gotta stop, because if you don't, then that's harassment. But yeah, I totally get it. At 15, yeah. So you can tell this guy definitely likes this woman from the first time he met her, and he was probably thinking, no, she's way out of my league. But I think they do find love here. But let's watch it and find out.
Oh, macho Italian guy from Brooklyn.
Oh, so he's from Brooklyn, a macho guy. Brooklyn, hey, everything's Brooklyn. I don't know how Brooklyn people talk, but you know, I've never been to New York, so maybe one day I can get to go down there and see the memorial that they have and check that out too. I've seen it on TV, obviously, but I've never actually been there in person, or New York, or the Bronx, for that matter.
When I met Karen, somehow she relaxed me.
Oh, her name's Karen.
She just taught me patience. I had very little patience. Basically, I was one of those guys who rolled down the window and screamed at the drivers when they weren't driving the way I thought they should be. And she toned me down. She showed me to be nicer to people. Give it a second thought before you...
Yeah. Be nice to people, man. I like that little yin and yang, you know. He's the tempered type and she's the cool, chill type. She's like, hey, just calm down, all right? But hey, I do that stuff too. Listen, I'll beep my horn, especially if you cut me off while I'm driving, or if you don't know how to drive and if you're going really slow. I'm beeping my horn. I'm also saying something, but it's always nice to have that person there beside you to keep you in check. But like, hey, just be a little bit nicer, just a little bit, all right? So yeah, I definitely see where this guy's coming with the driving, especially in New York. Now, I never been to New York, so I don't know exactly how they drive there, but I can only imagine because it's obviously so busy in New York. You probably have people beeping their horn and cussing you out every 5 minutes or something just from driving. But yeah, I'm glad this girl is like, hey, it's okay. Just calm down, all right? Keep him in check, you know. Women can do that, all right? Especially the women you love. Yeah, your girlfriend, your wife. They have that power to keep you calm, even when you're really frustrated.
Start yelling. And I've carried that with me. Other than her going to work, there wasn't a time we weren't together. Every morning, Karen would drive with me to my office, and then she'd take the subway from my office one stop to the Trade Center. I worked in Brooklyn, so my window across the East River, I could see the Twin Towers. So I'm doing some work, and one of my workers comes in and says, Richie, I just heard that the Trade Center got hit with a plane. I turn around, and I see the building burning.
No, man. Just imagine your loved one is working in the North Tower, and then you get the news like, hey, plane just hit the World Trade Center. I can only imagine how that man felt at that moment. Probably just like your heart just basically fell out of your chest and just fell straight down to the pit of your stomach. Oh, man.
And I took my office chair and I threw it at my window. So they brought the nurse up. She gives me a bottle of water. I have the bottle of water, and
I understand your frustration, man. Absolutely.
It's in my hand, and my hand is trembling so much that it's splashing all over me.
Yeah, because you don't know. Is your loved one okay? I mean, it's a real bad situation. It was a real bad situation. I mean, is my loved one okay?
Couldn't even hold the bottle in my hand. I miss her eyes.
Oh, no. Well, yeah, they told us at the beginning she didn't make it, man, but it's just sad, man. Especially when you lose somebody you love, somebody you was looking to spend the rest of your life with. This is going to be a hard video to make, but again, I'm making this video just as my way of remembering some of the victims, if not all the victims, of that tragic day.
Her eyes sparkled to me. One day they were blue, next day they were green, depending on how the light hit them. Karen, I'll always be in love with you, and I will see you again.
Yeah, man, you will see her again. That's the only hope, really. That you gotta hold on to that hope. Anybody who lost somebody on 9/11, just hold on to that hope. You will see them someday. You know, you will. I guess maybe that's the fuel that's driving him. You can tell in his voice that he really does miss her, though, and it's just really heartbreaking, man.
Do enough good to make it up there.
Yeah, see, he'll do enough good to make it up there so he can see her again. That's his motivation of living his life, so he can see her one day. And I know when he sees her again, he's just going to give her the biggest, fattest hug and probably kiss on the lips and on the cheek. Man, this is so sad, dude. That was it. There she is, Karen Jode. I'm really sorry if I'm pronouncing these names wrong. I'm really trying. But yeah, from February 22nd, 1949 till September 11th, 2001. R.I.P. to you. You really made this guy happy. You really kept him calm. It seems like you were his. Whenever he would get frustrated at the other drivers, like, just calm down. Like, you were his yang to his yang. I messed that up too, but you guys know what I mean. But wow, so sorry for that gentleman who lost his woman. It's so sad. R.I.P. Or also R.I.P. to this woman as well. R.I.P. But I believe that he will make it up there. I'm assuming he's talking about heaven, and he will get to see her again. I believe that. He's just got to do enough good. Maybe like stop yelling at other cars, but hey, if you're driving bad, I'm gonna say something. But yeah, man, it's just so bad, so sad. I hope this guy's doing good with his loss, and yeah. So, StoryCorps aims to record at least one interview for each life lost. That's over. I think that's like 3,000 lives. I don't know how far along they've came from doing just this one, but 3,000 is a lot, but I believe StoryCorps can do it. Okay? And that's a good way to honor the victims of 9/11. Which, again, a victim doesn't mean you just died that day. A victim could also be meaning that you lost a loved one on that day. Therefore, that also makes you a victim because your life obviously has not been the same since then. And they got a little animated at the end. And they're holding hands. So that was the first animated story. Poor guy. I feel so bad for him. I'm gonna shrink this up, and I'm gonna see what other animations I can find other than just that one. So let me just just let me go back, see if I can't find another animated story about 9/11. Right here's one. This one's also from StoryCorps. Good, so we're staying in that region. That's where I want to do. Alright, so here's another story from StoryCorps. Not Storybook, like I said earlier. If you go to Storybook, you might find out a totally different channel. But this one's called John and Joe. So you got a firefighter and a police officer hat, and there were a lot of those are some of the heroes I was talking about. Every single firefighter and every single officer that helped that day is 100% a hero. Every single one of them. And so I don't know what's going to happen in this. I've never seen this one either, but we're going to check it out and see. John and Joe. Retired firefighter John Again, I'm so sorry I'm butchering these names. I'm trying. Vingen. Okay, John Sr. had two sons, John and Joe. Okay, so he's a retired firefighter and he had two sons, John and Joe. So I'm assuming that John and Joe were, one was a fighter and one was a police officer. Okay. John Jr. was a fighter like his father. Joe was a police detective and John Jr. was a fighter like his father. So they basically took on the family business of getting into careers where you would absolutely help other people. So, I mean, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool that they decided to devote their lives to helping other people, because that obviously comes with the job of being a fighter and a police detective. On September 11th, 2001, John and Joe were... Oh, no. He lost both his sons in the towers attack. See, this is what I'm talking about, man. So many lives were changed that day. So many lives were just torn apart because people losing the loved ones that they loved. And it's just so tragic that day was, man. And, man, imagine being this guy and just losing both. Not one, but both of his sons that day. Wow, his sons are heroes. They both died heroes that day. Man, I can only imagine the pain he felt once he found out. But let's just find out what this story is and what happened that day to them and everything else. And just, his sons are heroes. John and Joe, they're both heroes. John Sr. came to StoryCorps to remember them. Yep. He probably remembers them every single day, but just to tell their story, yeah.
There were a couple of days each year you were allowed to take your children to work. And Joe loved it. That was his birthday present, that he would spend the night in the firehouse. We'd have a cake, and the guys I work with, they would take a milk container and they'd cut out the facsimile of a building and they'd put it on the top of the cake and then they would light it up.
Oh, that's so cool. That's such a cool idea for a birthday cake. Yeah, so his son would come and visit him at the fire station and they would do that for his son. That's so cool. I never had a birthday cake like that. I'm saying it's cool that they would have a birthday cake like that. I never had one like that, but that's cool. Are they also going to let him put it out too?
Tell Joe to put it out, and he would throw a pop.
You're going to let him throw it out. He's got the bucket of water. You're going to ruin the cake, man. No. I got to try to bring a little happiness, because this is just honestly sad, but, you know.
A lot of water on it. The birthday cake was a little soggy.
Yeah, I'd imagine the birthday cake being soggy. Honestly, if I was a fighter doing that, I'd be like, I probably don't want to eat it, honestly. Soggy cake doesn't sound too good.
This is what he wanted. Joe started dating a young lady whose father was a police officer. And he come home one day and he says, I'm taking a police test.
Oh, this is about when he became a police detective, I'm assuming, because he's taking a police test. That's cool. I wonder how hard those police tests can be. I think you gotta be like very smart to beat them. I don't know exactly what you got to do. I don't know. Do you take like a test on a piece of paper, or do you go to like training or something to, train up on how to pass to be a cop? I'm not sure, but it's cool that he wanted to be a cop anyway. That's really cool.
Says, Joe, you're only 17 years old.
He wanted to be a cop at 17 years old. He was going to take the test at 17. I mean, at that point, you got your whole life ahead of you. But hey, if you know what you want to do at 17, by all means, go out there and do it. And this is what this guy wanted to do, was be a police officer, a police detective at 17. And so so I mean, if you know what you want to do when you're 17, you should absolutely just go for it.
No big deal. On the other side of the room, my son John wanted to be the next Donald Trump. He was going to make
John wanted to be the next Donald Trump. Okay, John. Make that money, man. Make that money. Yeah, he wanted billions of dollars. I mean, yeah, I can see that. I think everybody wants billions of dollars. Yeah, good for him. He wanted that money.
$1 million and take care of his mother and father.
Oh, that was so nice. You can just tell, man. His sons had kind hearts. Their hearts were in the right place. He wanted to make that money to take care of his mom and dad and family, and that's really cool.
But in 1984, they came down with throat cancer.
Oh no, he came down with throat cancer. Throat cancer is just the worst. Cancer's been going on forever, and to my knowledge, there's not a cure for cancer yet. I remember when they used to have these run marathons for cancer patients and stuff. Basically, you would either run or just, walk around a lap or two, and then however many laps you did, that's how much money was raised to go toward cancer funding. And that was a good cause too as well. But he got throat cancer, I'm guessing, from smoking cigarettes. That's what my guess is.
He noticed then how my unit took care of us, and he says, I'm going to become a firefighter.
Look at his unit. So his friends from the fire department came over and looked after him and his family while he was going through throat cancer. That's really cool. That's when you know you really have close, good friends. Good people as your friends also. That's really cool that they did that for him. Took care of him and his family while he was dealing with the throat cancer.
Fireman. I says, you're kidding me. Firemen don't make millions of dollars. How am I going?
Yeah, he wants to be a fireman now. Is this the same kid that wanted to be Donald Trump? And yeah, I'm assuming it is, because he's saying that he told him, like, hey, firefighters don't make it billions of dollars. I don't know how much firefighters make. I assume that it's enough to at least live off of. I'm not really sure how much firefighters make. I don't know. Where's my hold on. This is why we have Google. We can Google these things. Now I'm curious. Let's see. How much on average does a fighter fire make? 45,000 to 78,000 a year. That's on U.S. national average. So yeah, not that much. He's right when he says they don't make billions of dollars. I mean, honestly, that seems a little bit too low. I mean, these people are putting their lives in danger to save other people from fires. That seems a little bit too low for me. I was expecting at least 100,000 a year or something, but 45,000 to 78,000 a year annually, yeah, that seems a little bit too low for me. But nonetheless, man, you still gotta have good people who want to be firefighters to help try to save lives. So kudos to his son for even wanting to be a firefighter to make that less money. I'm sure he didn't even worry about the money. He probably just did it so he could help people.
I lived like a king, but I was very happy, very proud.
Yeah, he should be proud, He wants to carry on the family business. Yeah, he should be proud of his sons. His sons seems like they're well-minded and are making right decisions in their life.
My father had been on the fire department, and he was the first one to be issued badge number 3436, and they reissued it to my son John.
Oh, so the badge number that his dad had, they gave to his son. That's really cool. Knowing that you have your grandpa's badge number, and I'm assuming that his grandpa was a cool dude. So yeah, that's a real good honor right there. Just getting that badge number that your grandpa or grandfather had. Yeah, that's really cool.
So the badge was only used by two. Both the boys would call me when they were working. John would always call around 3:30, 4 o'clock, and that particular night, September 10th, we spoke for a few minutes, and I says, "I love you."
Oh, that's real nice. Yeah, you never know when you're gonna last time speak to someone, so you want to say the right things because you never know. You never know when's the last word gonna be to somebody. You don't want to get in an argument with somebody and be like, "Well, I hate you," but really you love them, and those are the last words they hear, and those are the last words you said to that person. That's something you're gonna have to live with, and that is going to eat at you for the rest of your life. So whenever you get an opportunity, let your friends and family know that hey, I love you. I care about you. And so it seems like this was the case. Maybe those were the last words he ever spoke, was saying, I love you. They talked all the time. He said he called him all the time. So hopefully those were the last words they said to each other was, I love you. So they know that everybody he loved his sons and his sons loved him.
And he says, "I love you." Joe called me in the morning and told me to turn on the television that a plane just hit the Trade Center. He says, "I'm heading south on West Street. This is a big one." And I just said, "Be careful. I love you." He said, "I love you too."
Yeah. Be careful. Absolutely.
Was it? We had the boys for John for 36 years, Joe for 34 years.
36 years and 34 years. They were only 2 years apart, and he lost both of his sons that day. Man, that is so tragic, man. My heart is like literally hurting right now, and I'm just not making it up. Honestly, they were only 2 years apart. Wow, man.
Ironically, badge number 3436. I don't have any could've, should've, or would'ves. I wouldn't have changed anything. There's not many people that the last words they said to their son.
Yeah, exactly. That's not the many last words people have said to someone that they loved, and then that person end up suddenly dying. Yeah, he's absolutely right. So he's happy that he got to tell them that he loved them, and they also tell him that they loved him. And so that's why he don't have no woulda, coulda, shoulda, because he got to tell them like, hey, I love you, and they got to say, Dad, we love you too. And I'm glad that's the last words he ever heard from them is, hey, Dad, we love you, or I love you. And he got to tell them like, hey, I love you, because again, if like the last words is something mean and then that person loses their lives tragically, it's just going to eat away at you. So, whenever you get the opportunity to tell your loved ones that you love them, do it. Take that opportunity. Don't try to let the last words be something mean, because you never know that when's the last time you're going to talk to somebody.
Daughter was, "I love you." And the last words they heard was, "I love you."
Yeah.
So that makes me sleep at night.
Yeah, I bet it does, man. Knowing that you was able to tell your sons that you love them before you tragically lost them. Even though he probably can sleep at night, I still imagine it has to be hard for this man. But he has to know that his two boys died heroes that day. Absolutely 100%, they're both heroes. Yeah. Oh man. Only 2 years apart. So they went on to carry basically the family business of one son becoming a firefighter just like his grandpa did, and the other son becoming a police officer. They both chose their career. One son wanted to be Donald Trump, but then he was like, no, I want to carry on the family legacy of becoming a fighter. And the other son was like, also want to carry on the family legacy of helping people, but I want to take a different route and be a police officer. And unfortunately, they both lost their lives on that day, and it's just so tragic. And I feel for it. My heart breaks for that old man. He says he can sleep at night because of the words. I'm sure he can, because of the last words that he told him, which was "I love you," and they was able to tell him that they love him. But I imagine it's still got to be rough. It's still got, especially losing a kid, because they say that, and I believe it also, that a parent should never have to bury their kid. Their kid should have to bury their parents. That's the way I've always grown up, thought it should be. Like, the kid should bury their parents instead of the parent burying their kid. That I feel like, yeah, it's going to be hard either way, but I feel like it would be harder for the parent to bury their child versus their child burying their parent, if that makes any sense, which I think it does. But yeah, either way, it's got to be very hard. But I'm just happy those were the last words they ever said together. And his two sons are definitely heroes. Definitely. He knows that. I'm sure he knows that. That there are both heroes. That's the end of that one. I'm gonna do just one more. Again, I could watch these forever. These are really good animations. Really, really good. I'm gonna try to look here. I'm gonna go back one. Yeah, so far I do like the animation styles on StoryCorps. Definitely go check out their channel. Go subscribe to them. I'm gonna do one more if I can find one. I guess maybe this always. This may be one. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. Again, this is the first time me watching these videos, so I'm not really sure. Always a family. So we'll see what this one's about. This one may not be about 9/11. I'm not 100% sure. But this is from StoryCorps, so I'm assuming this is also a 9/11 one. So yeah, let's check it out and see. Okay, yeah, so it is another 9/11 one. I wasn't sure. But let's see. Michael Trinidad worked for Cantor for... I'm not going to try to pronounce names I don't know. First Gerald. He basically worked at the World Trade Center in New York. There's two separate here. A dad with his two kids and I guess his wife over there. So did she lose him or did he lose her? And I hope they didn't lose the kids, man. I don't know. I guess we'll see. But either way, it's still tragic. Oh no, so he was killed. Was the kids killed too, or just him? But yeah, that's just so terrible. Came to store to remember Michael.
When I met Michael, I was 14 years old, and I knew that he was going to be my boyfriend. We got married.
Leave it up to girls. No, like, hey, I like you. You're gonna be my boyfriend whether you like it or not, mister. Yeah. It'd be like that sometimes, Sometimes you just ain't got a choice when you're a kid. Hey, I like you. You gonna be my boyfriend or girlfriend. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so she knew once she saw them, she's like, yeah, you're gonna be my boyfriend.
When I was 19, and we were both kids. We really didn't know what next.
Yeah.
Get married and now what? When we were divorced,
Oh, no. So they got married and then they got divorced? No. I wonder what happened in between to have them get a divorce. I wonder if she'll bring that up. I wonder why they even got divorced. No, and no. I can't believe they got a divorce. I wonder why they did, though. She never said why yet, but maybe if we keep watching, we'll figure out why they divorced in the first place.
I remember the kids telling me that their father confided in them with a secret. And they said, well, Daddy still loves you.
Oh, so they got divorced and he still loves her. But why did they get to the divorce in the first place? She never really said. Not unless I missed it. I don't think I missed it. But he still loves her. Her kids are telling her, hey, Daddy still loves you. Does she still love him? I'm assuming that she did. She does. Or she did back then whenever. But why get the divorce, though? He still loves her. Did she not love him at that time? I'm confused. Hopefully she explains why they got the divorce. I really want to know why.
I want us to tell you.
He didn't want. So he told his kids, like, yeah, I'm still in love with your mom, but I don't want your mom to know. I don't know why he didn't want his kids to tell their mom that he still loved her, but I don't know. Maybe, so there's two questions. Why did you guys get divorced? And why didn't he want the kids to tell their mom that he was, I guess, still, or at least still loved her? Those are two questions I really hope get answered in this video. Oh, I gotta hit play here.
And I said, well, I know. And I love him too.
So she does love him. So why get divorced then? What was divorced about? Did somebody cheat or something? I don't know. I don't know. I'm just really curious on why they would get a divorce, especially having two kids.
But Mommy and Daddy are gone their separate ways, but we'll always be a family and we'll always be your mom.
Okay, so I guess they still love each other. But see, this is why it's really confusing to me. How can you love somebody? I guess maybe like over time, you still love that person, but not the way you used to love them. Right? Like, you don't want anything bad to happen to that person, obviously. And you still have love for that person because that's the father of your kids or the mother of your kids. But I guess the love, she said that they just grew apart. So, meaning that, I guess they were in love with each other, but they still loved and respect each other for their kids' sake, or just for themselves too. They still just loved and respect each other, but they weren't in love anymore. And that does happen a lot. People get married at a young age. They found out that, hey, this ain't the person that I thought I wanted to spend the rest of my life with. And so then divorce happens because they fall out of love and they just have two separate falling aways from each other. But they still love each other, because obviously they still have that time together. And hopefully they were able to remain friends after their divorce or whatever. But, yeah, so that's why they got divorced. So that question was answered. Both of the questions were answered. So why did they get divorced? Because they just grew apart. And what was the other question? Whatever. That other question was answered as well. But yeah, so let's see what happens here next.
And Dad. On 9/11, I remember getting up to take my daughter. She had a doctor's appointment, so my daughter was home. At 9:04, I got a phone call, and it was Michael. And he was calling from the 103rd floor. And the first thing...
He's on the 103rd floor of the towers. I know one of the buildings got hit right in the middle, and then the other one got hit like straight up at the top at one of those floors or not. I wonder if he was on one of the buildings where, well, if it hit right in the middle, first off, all the floors up top, the staircases are going to collapse, and there's just going to be no way out. And then the other plane hit, but I don't know exactly what floors, because one of the planes hit really high up on the tower. I don't know if one of those floors were the floor that he's on, but I don't know. But wow, man. So the plane hit the tower, and he called them, his family, immediately.
that he said was, "I'm calling to say goodbye."
Oh my gosh. So he knew what was going to happen to him, and he just wanted to call his family and say goodbye to them because he knew that he wasn't getting out. That is so heartbreaking. I mean, that truly, truly is, man. I can't imagine making a phone call like that. Just knowing your number's up, there's nothing you can do about it. All you can do is just reach out to your loved ones and just tell them one last time how much they mean to you and how much you love them and all that, man. And I can only imagine the feelings that people were having, like this guy was, knowing just, it's your last curtain call. This is it. Just having that feeling, knowing what's about to come, man. I can't imagine a feeling like that. I just can't imagine a feeling like that, man.
And I said, "Why? Where are you going?" And he said, "Well, I'm in the building that was just hit by a plane." He just wanted to tell me how much he loved the children. And he says, "I also want to tell you that I always loved you." And I said, "I know. The kids told me." And my daughter was there, and she saw me becoming a little hysterical, and I didn't know whether to put her on because I didn't know how he would react. He thought she was at school.
Oh no, she's starting to break down and cry. I can understand, man. You can tell she's really hurt just by her voice and everything. I'm sure she probably wishes that she could hold him and kiss him, and probably wish they never split up. And just the tone of her voice, you can tell that she really, really misses this guy, and rightfully so. It's really hard when you lose the people you love, and you still have to carry on with life, because no matter how bad it hurts or how bad you want that person back, life just goes on. It's not going to stop for anybody, and I completely understand where she's coming from. Not that I didn't lose nobody in 9/11, but I'm just saying from, losing loved ones in my own personal life that I miss terribly, and I wish I could see them again and just talk to them again, but unfortunately I can't, and time doesn't stop, so I just have to try. You just have to try whenever you lose somebody you love. Just try to carry on the best you can, and just hold on to the good memories of what you have with that person. But yeah, I feel so bad for this family, and he had two daughters. I think it was two daughters, maybe a daughter and a son. But either way, he had two children too that are gonna unfortunately grow up without their dad. It's just a tough situation.
it just really breaks my heart that he's not here for them. It's like the only thing on his mind was to tell the kids that he loved them. And the thing is that my two children look just like him. And
Oh yeah. The kids need to know that, hey, your dad. If I was her, I would just let my kids know every single day, like, your dad loved you, even though they might know it already. But just it would just be a nice little reminder, like, hey, your dad loves you, and he probably does wishes that he was there with them, but he's probably just looking over them, up in the sky. He's looking over them. I'm sure he's probably proud whenever they get good grades in school or just accomplish something at school or just in life in general, So I would say he's definitely watching over them and her. So, yeah, but it doesn't make it any easier.
they talk like him. And they joke like him. So it's like he's there. I see him in them every day. And as much as he used to drive me crazy, he was my family and my best friend.
Yeah, Michael. I'm not gonna. I don't want to try to pronounce his last name because I don't think I can, and I don't want to. I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but I just have a hard time pronouncing last names. But yeah, man, it's definitely hard, for sure. It's got to be hard for that family. Yeah, so that's StoryCorps. Okay, I'm running on low battery here. As you can see, it just popped up. My screen just went dark also too, so I'm going to end the video right there, guys. That was my reaction to StoryCorps animation about 9/11. I strongly encourage you guys to go check out their channel. They have a lot of cool animated videos. I'm probably going to look at some more whenever I'm done making this video. But yeah, 9/11 was such a tragic day. So many lives lost. It was terrorism and just a bunch of nonsense and a very tragic day. This video, it's the only way I know how to really honor the victims, that this video goes out to them. Thank you to all the heroes who sacrificed their lives their day, and the ones who thankfully were able to make it out and who saved a bunch of lives. And this video is dedicated to the over, I think, close to 3,000 victims on 9/11 that day. You're all on our thoughts and on our hearts and on our minds, and to the families, to these three families who we watched today, their tragic stories. I'm so sorry for your loss. Yeah, I mean, that's basically all I can really say is that I'm sorry for your loss, and there were a lot of heroes that died that day also, and just everybody who lost their lives on 9/11, just know that you are remembered and you will never ever be forgotten. And I think that's it for the video. As you can see, my screen did go dark because my batteries run low and I really need to save the video. I don't want this to get deleted. And so this is dedicated to the victims of 9/11. May you forever, ever rest in peace like you deserve to. And I hope all these families can find the strength to carry on with their lost ones in their heart and the love that they had for them, that they carry that with them until, they get to see each other again. So, yeah, that's going to do it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. And I will see you guys on the next one.